From DS Media Studios in Tema, Ghana, this is Two Pesewas. Two Pesewas is a weekly podcast where we cover a range of topics, from buzzing media headlines to music to highlights from the week. Each episode is co-hosted by myself, Peaches, and Edi.
Welcome to episode 7, aka the Christmas episode.
Woo, aka Bronya special.
Yes. As usual, we're happy that you're still here, you're still listening, and before we forget, we'll be on a break. So you will hear from us in the new year, I guess.
Yes. This is going to be our last episode for a little bit. We're going on Christmas vacation.
Yeah, we need a rest.
Is on Christmas vacation.
Exactly. So then you definitely hear from us back in the new year.
Yes, in the new. So be looking out for it. And for anybody wondering why we're doing an episode on Christmas, well, do you know what? I figured after you eat your mother's chicken, what will you be doing?
Exactly.
In the house.
Exactly.
So just something for you to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
good. Okay, so in the news, you want to go first?
Okay, yes. All right. So in the news, so we're going to try and have everything be Christmassy, if you will, this week. So it seems like we've had a Christmas miracle in Ghana. Yes, indeed.
Tell me about it.
So a few days ago, a quarry in Gomoa.
Oh, wow.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah, I saw it.
Supposedly discovered a miracle granite stone, at the rock. And they kept saying it's a mysterious stone. I'm like, if it's at a quarry, first of all...
Nothing mysterious about that.
Finding a rock there, ooh! So anyway, what makes this miraculous is that there's apparently a sign of the cross on the rock. Okay, so... and they said when you pour water on it, it releases a beautiful fragrance, and therefore is Jesus.
I can't even.
So not only did they talk amongst themselves there, they went and summoned the minister of tourism, who actually appeared to inspect this rock. They had, at least Joy FM was there, or GBC News or something.
I can take this seriously.
And she said that, they're going to get involved now. They plan to find a wonderful place to move this rock to so that it can become a tourism site and a site for pilgrimages. I can't even finish. And a site for pilgrimages, for people in the future. And it is a sign that Ghana is blessed. Now, can I talk about this rock for a quick second?
It's a hot mess, man.
If you were to turn that thing back on its side, it's no longer a cross, is it, really? I mean, it's only I'm like, who's told you that is the orientation of this rock? Secondly, it is clearly, it's veins. It's just every rock has veins in it. And you can clearly see that it's quite a large rock, was chipped off of a larger block of things. So those lines continue. So again, how is it a cross? Like, you really have to want it to be a cross.
Exactly. I was just going to say, we see what we want to see.
Exactly.
Really.
And that fragrance, when you pour, it's quartz. I'm pretty sure those minerals are either iron, because it's dark brown. So it's quartz or iron or something along those lines. And I'm just like, if you own a quarry... I mean, all your rocks kind of look like this. I'm just like, what is happening here? Anyway.
I'm sure they'll see some more rocks. I'm pretty sure.
They'll come to say that Jesus appeared at the back there somewhere the next day.
It's just utter nonsense. And that the minister also
and for the whole
there,
minister of tourism to come in her cover and slit and then be talking about making it a site for tourism and pilgrimage. Pilgrimage.
That's what we like. Oh.
This is like one of those Jesus Christ appeared in my toast stories.
Now we have a Ghanaian version.
Except the whole minister for tourism got involved.
Yeah, that's a bit shameful. I think it's much.
Anyway, so yes, Merry Christmas. You can now, go on a
pilgrimage
to Gomoa to look at a rock in a quarry. So there you go.
Nice one. It's so funny. I can't stop laughing. Right. So in the news, I was scouring the internet for something Christmas. It's not that easy, honestly, to be looking for Christmassy news. But I saw something that somebody had written about: make Christmas more Ghanaian and then eat what you grow what you eat. And then the writer was saying that she remembers back, I think it was a she or a he, I don't really remember, was saying that back then, I don't know, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, it was more about the goats, the live fowls that you actually kill. Exactly. But now it seems like we're using a lot of imported stuff, all this European reject, so to speak. All these things that are coming into our country. And I'm saying that, I guess because I was younger, I didn't really take notice of all these things. But I do think, and this is not backed up by any data, but I do think that we're importing more things.
Oh, definitely.
We're importing more like tinned tomatoes, matches, rice, like basically everything. So my point is really that if we want to support our industries, maybe we should think about less importation and more supporting more local products or local companies. And then I also wanted to. I thought, if you wanted to buy a live chicken, a live fowl, how much does it cost? I was going to
say that.
It's more expensive.
The homegrown chickens are like 40 to 50 Ghana.
And
if you go to ShopRite and buy it frozen Badia from Brazil, it's like 12 cedis.
Exactly.
So that is also factoring in
That's
here,
the problem.
you know.
That's the problem. When you import something and it's cheaper than the homegrown, obviously people who are looking at their purses and
let me just interrupt. Even
crazy.
King's Bite. You can buy King's Bite for about the same price as like Snickers now or something. The King's Bite, like the old school, the red bar, the big one. It's about the same price.
Should that
as
be?
so
should that be? How is
now
that?
Now you're just like, okay, well, let me buy the Snickers then.
That's the thing. It's so strange.
So we need to find a way to be also price competitive. It's just one thing to say buy made in Ghana goods, but we have to make it appealing and enticing.
Exactly.
If you go to that made in Ghana store, you'll be like, everything here is really expensive. You know?
And sorry to say, some of the things, I mean, the quality of the packaging doesn't really attract you. So you're like, let me just go for the other bit at the same price.
It's more polished and it's cheaper. Yeah. So
if we want to consume locally made products, I guess we also have to do something with the price, with the packaging. And
value
all that.
added. We need to address, what is making it so, why we aren't price competitive when it's grown here. There's no importation costs, there's no transportation costs, and we still can't keep up. We need to look at that as well. So.
And that's the only way you can actually attract people or tell people that, consume your locally grown things if the price is competitive. Else, like, what's the reason? What's the reason? So that's my news. That's my thing.
All right. So my music of the week is going to be like 2 hours long.
Oh boy!
Turns out I really love Christmas carols, and that's what we're doing. My music is all Christmas carols this week. Okay. So I tried to categorize. So I have is it 4 or 5 categories here?
Oh gosh.
So that I could have a reason to talk about 6.
Okay.
Okay. So for my first Christmas carol, this falls into the classic/traditional category. Okay. So I have for that In the Bleak Midwinter.
Oh, yeah.
I really, really love that song. And part of the reason I love it is because I feel like it's kind of melancholic, actually. And if you think about it, winter is like a hard time, usually. Well, not here.
Yeah, but exactly. I was going to say, people are going to start...
Yeah, if you live in a country with actual winters, it's a hard time. It's dark. It's... it's not all so I feel like this is kind of somber and it has gravitas to it. It has a bit of melancholy, and yet at the end there's a happy ending. So I've always really loved In the Bleak Midwinter. So that's my first one.
Nice.
Now for the non-traditional, so I have a non-traditional category, is Santa Baby, but as sung by Eartha Kitt only. That's the only one we recognize.
She's roaring in that one. She's like...
so she sings it with a little bit of... So yeah, and that's the anthem for slay queens and gold diggers. And I just love it. I'm like, yes, just be like... I want a deed. I want a yacht. It's not a lot. Okay. Santa honey, get it done. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. So going on to, and this one is all-time fave, Oh Holy Night.
Oh yeah.
Mariah Carey's version.
Yeah, I love that song.
It is just, first of all, I loved it. It used to be my favorite classic/traditional, Oh Holy Night, church. And then Mariah came along and I was just like, okay,
hers
queen.
is beautiful. Hers is so beautiful.
It's my favorite carol of all time. I listen to it. I get tears in my eyes when she hits that key change. I'm like, yes, girl. Sang in the whistle register. Right. Yes. All-time fave. Okay, so now I decided to do an album. And there was only one Christmas album that could... I mean, everybody of a certain age that grew up in a certain time... Right. The Boney M Christmas album.
Oh, wow. Boney
Excuse me. Your life was... If you didn't listen to the Boney M Christmas album growing up, I don't know. Wow, Disco plus Christmas carols sung by Jamaican people. Excuse me.
Like, what do you want more?
You've got some reggae in it. Listen, you've got everything. Listen. Long time ago in Bethlehem, Listen, your life will be complete right there, even if you didn't have anything but cabin biscuits.
Oh, cabin biscuits! Oh Lord, and Piccadilly,
Piccadilly, or jam, or whatever.
Exactly.
Then old school. If you had that, some butterscotch with the blue tin, the Danish.
Yes,
biscuits,
those ones.
the one Coca-Cola they gave you that Christmas.
Or you had to share.
And then one chicken wing because the chicken couldn't go around. If you had that, but you had the Boney M, you were good to go.
Nice.
And then because, 2 Pesewas, we always hold it down, made in Ghana, I decided to bring out a Ghanaian classic, 24th, by Kaayire Kwame Appiah.
Have I heard it?
What?
I'm sure I have.
Have you? Being Kese 24th to Kuro. I
think so.
Oh,
I'm
and
not
you
too
see,
sure.
Eddie, I keep telling you, Eddie is Dadabi.
No, I'm not Dadabi. No, people.
Don't let the accent fool you.
No.
Look out.
My friend, keep quiet over there.
So, shout outs to Kaayire Kwame Appiah.
Yeah, shout outs to you.
High Life 24th. Yes. So those are my 5 songs.
Right.
For the Christmas playlist.
Okay. All right, that's not 2 hours. That's all right.
I
know. Okay. So, my song of the week. So, just in time for Christmas, I actually have a new album that I want to share with you. I'm sure you've all heard the Mama Fisher Pa, All I Want for Christmas, Last Christmas. You've got all those down. You can put those in a box for next year. But the song I actually want to share from the album is Sia's Every Day is Christmas.
And I knew you were going to talk about that.
Yeah,
because you told me to listen to
I know,
the
it's
album.
so nice.
I think I listened to 5 songs. I remember, of course, I'm just like, well, it is Sia.
I love it, yeah.
It's magical. It's really, really good. It's really good.
Exactly. And the song is Puppies Are Forever. That's my all-time favorite song.
Puppies Are Forever.
Forever, yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. It's so catchy. And I have to give credit to Abokuma because she had it on her Twitter timeline. Exactly. And she was raving about it. That was so good. I said, let me go listen. And it's really good. And I'm ashamed to say that when I listened to the album, I listened to it like maybe 4 times back to back. I was just so in the Christmas sort of
put
spirit.
it on my playlist.
Yes, you should. Upbeat, nice song. So the album is Every Day's Christmas. That from Sia, and the song is Puppies Are Forever.
Okay.
So that's it.
I'm going to add one more song, actually.
Go ahead.
Because I listened to it by accident yesterday, and I was like, I should have put this on my list, but I didn't have a category for it. But it's one of those, kind of in the Sia vein, Christmas song that's not a tradition. It's not typical, it's not a known, and it's actually by Faith Hill.
Oh, right.
And it's from the soundtrack. There was this movie that came out. I don't remember. I guess it was called Jesus of Nazareth or something. A couple of years ago. It was the girl. I can't remember her name. Let me not even try and waste time. But she made it for the soundtrack for that movie.
Okay.
And it's called A Baby Changes Everything.
Okay.
And it's actually about the birth of Jesus Christ or whatever. But from a perspective that is more... young girl, she's afraid, she doesn't know how to go, and the chorus is A Baby Changes Everything. And it's really, really, really beautiful. So if you check it out, Faith Hill, A Baby Changes Everything, for your non-traditional, atypical Christmas song that you never,
So aside here, speaking of Jesus of Nazareth, did you also used to be scared of that movie?
Well,
my sister was so scared. At one point, she couldn't sleep. She said just the blue eye, Jesus's blue eyes would just haunt her. She was so scared.
I was obviously traumatized by it, and they showed GBC.
I don't know. I should think so.
Do you know what we should have talked about? The Christmas movies they always
on GTV.
You remember that movie, Deceptions? Is it Deceptions?
Is it Deception? I don't know.
Eddie, come on. It's about these 2 sisters. One was broke, and one had married some very, very rich man, and she was unhappy, and she was on a yacht, and then she faked her death. She died, and then she went to pretend to be
the sister or something.
Every Christmas they Deceptions, and then Jesus of Nazareth,
and there's another Home Alone.
And Home Alone.
Those are the ones.
GBC used to. You're like, okay, it's time.
It's Christmas time. So that was song of the week.
Song of the week with
the side,
the side of movies. Okay. Cool. So my what the F this week was. So I'm trying to make it light, but I don't know. It will get a bit heavy because it's me. So I saw a headline a few days ago. Tamale chief orders manhunt for naked street rider. Oh. So apparently, there is a terrorist on the loose who has been riding his motorcycle butt naked up and down the streets of Tamale.
He's hot. You should leave him be. The weather is hot. I'm sure up in the north it's even hotter than it's here.
So now they're all in a frenzy, and the Yana, whatever they call him, the Nas something is like they should go and produce the guy and whatever it is. Okay, so of course what made me connected to Christmas in a kind of dark way is that, of course, one of the main theories is that it was like a Sakawa ritual thing. Because, they make them do weird things like sleep in coffins, what.
Okay.
So somebody said that this was his Sakawa challenge, to ride naked in the streets. And it made me remember, I don't know if you remember, like when we were let's say 20 years ago, always around Christmas time, there would be like a spike in like weird occurrences. Okay. Like they would say the Sikedro people, it's like towards the end of the year that they start doing their, ritual murders and stuff like that. Even in Tamale, when I was a kid, they would like, kids would start vanishing around that time and I just... Maybe because I think these days people don't really, now we do rituals all year round.
I know, every season is ritual season.
Yes. So anyway, so that's just like the dark side of Christmas real quick. And what made this even more ridiculous is, apart from the whole theory that it's a Sakawa thing, apparently the Tamale chief said that if him riding up and down naked is a ploy by homosexuals to test the reaction of Northerners, then that guy will have to pay very severely.
Where did he conjure that one from?
I'm like, so you think there's some like homosexuals association that said, okay, let's see if people will accept us.
It's reaching.
Let's ride. So what? So if somebody says, "Hey, I like your butt," then what? Like,
it's so absurd.
So really ridiculous. That's how you would actually.
What's this though?
So of course, the more logical explanation for all this is what the family have been trying to say, and everyone are just like, no. So apparently, his family have come out to say that actually he's got a mental problem. And that he actually been treated in the past and he's had a relapse. Okay, so that and they're actually looking for him themselves. And they're like, no, it's Sakawa. They won't even mind them. So anyways.
Man.
But yeah, there's a naked guy riding around for Christmas. So
yeah. Wow. Okay. We always like, I don't know, sometimes we don't like to accept things. I mean, they've just told you that this is the reason, but you don't want to accept it. You have to attribute it to something else.
Occam's razor, okay? It's a logical principle that suggests that the simplest, most direct explanation for a problem typically is the actual answer to the problem. What is the most obvious and straightforward suggestion for this? Well, I guess in Ghana it's a ritual.
Yeah,
but for most people it would be he obviously isn't well.
Yeah, I guess a mental illness.
So if that's the most direct route to get to this, that's usually what it is. Occam's razor. But here, no. He turned into a bird. But then we didn't take a picture of it. So all we have is a picture of the person after he transformed. But we know he was a bird.
Or yam or something.
Anyway.
Okay. So my what the F is the dying sad Christmas tree of Rome.
Oh, what's this?
My girl, I saw this and I was like, huh? What? Like, what is this? So apparently, citizens of Rome are ridiculing their official Christmas tree because of its appearance. They've nicknamed it the mangy one, or the skinny one or something. And they're saying that the tree that I saw a picture of the tree. It was like really sparse, like a little thing. It's actually ridiculous. And this tree is like 64 foot tall. And they're saying that it's a waste of money. Already, I think they have a problem with their mayor. They say she's not really doing enough. So now they're coming for her, telling her that she's wasted so much money.
On a dead tree.
On a dead tree. Apparently, the company that was paid to transport the tree was paid 48,000 euros for that tree.
Where did the tree come from?
This is somewhere the north of Italy or something. And then it gets even more bizarre because they said apparently the tree has its own Twitter account. And one of the tweets was said something about all the ornaments hanging on me are giving me a backache. Like I couldn't.
We clown Ghana and Nigeria, but Italy is a hot mess. Like they're politicians and stuff.
And they're small. So now the tree is now the subject of an investigation.
Is he guilty? Did the tree steal the money?
I don't know. Like, I couldn't stop laughing yesterday. I said, this I have to talk about, the dying Christmas tree of Rome. Yeah. But then I guess a little bit of a takeaway, our politicians, they're not setting priorities, right? Like, how do you go waste money on the tree? Like, it's for how many days, you know? This is not necessary. So that's
so
what my,
funny, my goodness.
yeah, I know.
And it kind of reminded me, did you read about the whole, people were like for 2 days on Twitter, they were clowning Melania Trump's decorations for the White House.
Yes.
That
I saw some pictures.
Her theme was Nightmare Before Christmas.
She can't get a break because of her husband.
They just kept photoshopping like monsters and stuff.
Oh,
like,
no.
Look, it looks perfect, like, because it's some black and white.
Yes, I saw.
With some funny, creepy.
It looks very weird. It looks
honey,
so
what
weird.
happened to the green and the reds and the holly and the
maybe she's just telling us
some
how she's
hallway,
feeling inside.
black and white, creepy vines and stuff. We're like, oh, madam, what is this, postmodern decorations or?
She's just showing you how she feels inside. I'm telling you, like, she's dead on the inside. She just has.
You said you wanted the money, so deal with it.
That's it. So that's my what the F.
Oh, that was great. Thank you.
Okay. 2 pesos.
2 pesos, and I'm gonna keep it short. Short for me. And it's more, I guess it's more geared toward New Year's than Christmas. But since we won't be here for New Year's, I feel I just put it in there.
Okay.
And so it's very short. It is, my 2 pesos this week is, be the change you want to see.
Oh, no.
Or, as a more sassy person would say, don't talk about it, be about it. Okay? So a lot of the time, and then really I'm gearing it towards Ghana, but it can apply for anywhere else. We always talk about we want things to be different. We want this, and we want this, and we wish people were this, and we wish people were that. But then anytime it comes down to you, the person, that in order for change to occur, with social change, whatever the case is, you also have to change as well.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to say is, just like with mouthwash and exercise, unless it hurts, it's not working. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, change is uncomfortable.
It is.
You have to step outside of what you're used to and go somewhere else that is going to cause you discomfort. And that's how you know that
something's
process of change is occurring. So I'm going to give some practical examples. Right. Here people talk about the police and the bribes and how the police are corrupt and but then when it comes time to say, okay, I, stand your ground and say, I so and so will not pay a bribe.
Yeah.
And when you do that, and I'm talking from personal experience, it is a lot of trouble because they catch you. Maybe they'll find some reason now. Where's your second triangle? Where's your fire extinguisher? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And if you don't have it, that's the point at which you just be like, all right, take this 20 CDs
and leave me alone.
And if you don't, they're like, fine, we're arresting you. And you're like, okay, let's go through that process. And it is a long, annoying process. Because you show up at the station, they make you fill this form, that form, blah, 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 court, and then the fine will be 200 CDs. But that is how the process of change will occur.
Okay, if we all were doing that.
Yes, and I'm saying it's going to hurt. It's not going to be easy. That's why they say change is not easy. Progress isn't easy. Another example. Traffic, people drive by heart, blah blah blah. Nobody obeys the same people saying that one day they're like, I'm late to work.
Let me drive on the shoulder of the motorway.
Is go on the shoulder, and I'm like, again, it's going to hurt. You stay in the lane,
just like everybody
and you'll
else.
be late, 30 minutes late for work. But that's how you know that. So I'm saying it is not easy to get to that point where we want to be, where everybody obeys the laws and everybody does this, because it's convenient to break the rules.
Yes.
But if we want, for the betterment of the social good or whatever it is, those are the kind of things we're going to have to do. So like I said, be the change you want to see, and it's got to hurt for it to work.
Right.
And that's my little bit this week.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you. So today, my 2 pesos is somewhat different. So I know we've been telling you guys what to do and what not to do with our 2 pesos, or giving you our opinions. So what I want to do for this 2 pesos, for this 2 pesos for the last episode of this year, I just want to say thank you to a couple of people, just to show appreciation.
Okay, this is like the album.
Exactly, sort of. So first of all, to our listeners, we're ever grateful. Like, you guys have been so amazing. The support has been super.
Yes.
Next up, my family, the great Dotses. You've all been so amazing. So my mom, my dad, Seshi, Akofa, Valikem, Fosti, Tim, Selina, and Elam. Next up, Asari Minta. She's my other sister apart from Peaches, with whom I plan world domination of another kind. Next up, Charles, Kweku, Neni, Ejiriosen, Mr. Funny Man.
Okay, babe, right? So I know this thing. Okay.
Much love to you. Thank you for everything. Nathaniel Ugboma, things are going in the right direction as I can tell, so your hard work will pay off. Lenny Briscoe, my unofficial cousin. You've shown us a lot of great support as well. Elemide Ayo, also good friend of mine. Awesome support from you as well. Adino and Esther Populampo, you guys
hello,
have you guys have been amazing. Support, much love to you and the kids. To my work squad, Albert, Sandra, Eno, Julie, Rejoice, Sam, Enoch. That was an awesome end of the year party. So DS Media and Sesh, you guys have made it possible for us to record, to do all these things.
Shout out to 2 Bars as well.
We're grateful.
Sheshi, the herbalist.
Exactly. And last but not least, Fiona, my co-host. You're so beautiful.
I'm just like shook here. I was just like, wait, I wasn't expecting to hear my name.
You're so wonderful. I'm happy that I'm doing this with you.
You know I get emotional, like low key.
I can't see myself doing this with anybody else. So thank you.
Thank you. Because I have to say the same. I didn't, like, there's nobody else who I could have done this with.
Right.
And thank you so much. Okay, now I'm going to seem ungrateful. Like me, my family members, I don't care about them. Okay, shout out to, but I think the good thing is we've been shouting people out because I always tell you guys I love you so much for holding me down, for hounding people with this podcast, for showing just support. And I have 2 shout outs this week actually to close the year.
Right.
And both of these people have been, you know how you always sometimes you want somebody to tell you what's wrong with something. You don't want just people saying, it's wonderful.
It's wonderful. Exactly.
So, people that give criticism with the support and constructive criticism, the type that they give you suggestions, how to make it better, how to make it different, So I have 2 shout outs for the 2 people who have gone hard with the detailed suggestions.
Right.
How to do this, what the impact will be. So one is Kobla from day one. Like the response you sent me for the first episode, I was even shook. I had to deconstruct it. I was like, it was a 3-parter. This, that. And I was like, thank you so much for that. And you still do that. You were talking about just everything. Thank you so much.
Right.
And to Safa Sef, what up? Thank you so much. Yeah. You do the same. Always brainstorming for me and with me and everything.
Nice.
And I appreciate so much for that. And Kwame as well. Kwame, DK, shout outs to you as well.
Yay.
You do the same every week. You're like, I'm always open. If you want to talk about suggestions for content for this.
Right.
I appreciate it so much. And I will be hitting all y'all up as well. And yes, just love to the fam, to the friends, to the support, just to the new listeners.
Exactly.
Those who have been there day one. We are actually working on some dynamic stuff, cool stuff. It's going to get better than this.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for everything. And Merry Christmas! I hope you're full at this point in time, stuffed with that chicken, that ben kwan, with
that
the extra
jollof,
goat's
the
meat,
goats,
everything, and just having a wonderful day with your family. Love you guys.
Exactly.
Peaches and Eddie out.
See you in the new year. All right. Bye. If you enjoyed the episode and you're listening to us on any of our platforms, please give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, and we'd also love for you to share this episode with your friends. Let's continue the conversation. We'd like to hear your feedback. Information on how to reach us on our website can be found in the description.